ATP is short for adenosine triphosphate. The name reflects its molecular structure, with adenosine connected to three phosphate groups, and this is the molecule that is required for muscle contraction. Within our muscles, myosin and actin filaments overlap each other and work kind of like this, contracting and relaxing. The contraction occurs when the myosin's globular heads attach to the actin and sort of pull at it like a taut rope. And each new grip and pull on the actin filament, or power stroke, requires ATP. So, how does ATP release energy? The ATP molecule is hydrolyzed by the enzyme ATPase and loses one of its three phosphate groups. Remember the molecular structure of ATP? The energy is released when adenosine triphosphate turns into adenosine diphosphate. The problem is that our muscles only have enough ready-to-go ATP for a couple seconds of strenuous activity. Since the resting concentration of ATP is so small and it gets used up so quickly, the body needs to have very efficient ways of resynthesizing ATP. Luckily, there are three energy systems that do this. The first is the ATP-PC system. The PC stands for phosphocreatine, which is a molecule characterized by a high-energy bond between a phosphate and a creatine. But this bond can be broken by the enzyme creatine kinase, which frees up phosphate and free energy to rejoin with the ADP through phosphorylation, creating another ATP molecule. And that cycle can continue a few times until the phosphocreatine in our muscles runs out, which takes about 10 seconds. Next, the glycolytic system breaks down glucose molecules in a 10-step process which uses 2 ATP molecules to create 4 ATP molecules. So it's kind of like a 2 steps backwards, 4 steps forwards kind of system, and it can provide about 10 to 40 seconds of energy from the catabolic degradation of glucose, or about 40 seconds to 2 minutes with a glycogen as the starting molecule, which glycogen only requires 1 ATP, resulting in a net of 3 ATP. But both of these systems provide short-term energy. That's where the oxidative system comes in, using carbs and fats to provide ATP for long-term endurance through the process of cellular respiration, which includes the Krebs cycle and ETC, which also converts ADP to ATP. And this actually happens in every mitochondria in every cell of our bodies, and it's the reason why we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Because acetyl-CoA is being oxidized into coenzymes and ATP, with carbon dioxide as a byproduct.